All right, I believe we are live. There we go. Perfect. Share screens. Copy. We'll be live. Okay. Let me mute my stuff. All right, guys. Welcome to another live session. This is again going over the fact that Monday we didn't really get to because holidays, and I hope you guys had a great holiday and whatnot. But let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me perfectly before I start, because sometimes we have audio issues. But if you guys can hear me, let me know, and then we will go ahead and start. I'll go over the markets. I want to talk about spots. I want to talk about altcoins. I want to talk about the overall outlook of the market, where exactly we're heading, and what exactly is going to happen for the short term. So just give me a minute here. Just gonna wait. Okay, perfect. There we go. You guys can hear me. Everything is good. Gecko, Mustang, Eddie. Hello, hello. Hey, Nicola. Okay, cool. So let's start off with Ethereum. I'm going to be eating grapes too on the side. I'm hungry. I don't get to eat much, but I'm going to eat some while I'm doing this. But so Ethereum last night, I was around the 2360 zone is when I mentioned to you guys that I'm looking to exit out of my spot positions. Yeah, I could have waited technically, a few more hours and maybe gone 30, 40, 50, whatever. It doesn't matter to me, but what I'm looking for is a longer perspective here. Now, we've been bullish on Ethereum for a very long time, right? We've been pretty much since around the 1715, 1720, we've been in that long perspective. We traded every single range perfectly. This consolidation, this consolidation, this consolidation. We've been doing extremely well, and I'll talk about the reason why I started to take some profits from the beginning. Now, let's start with IMX, okay? So when I sent IMX to you guys, it was at 84 cents. And look at the date. It was around November 23rd. This is before, most people started looking into altcoins. We started looking into altcoin buy positions. And this is just my buy position. We talked about Solana at $28 when I mentioned to you guys that, hey, Solana's a good buy at 28, any break above. And I still have the line. I'll show you guys that in a second a bit. But that's why I personally am looking to take some profits, because realistically, immutable, great project, whatever. Everything was great. I think I sold around the 235 range. Right around here was most of my exit, if not all of it. And I went all in on Beam, and I'll talk about Beam in a second as well. But from 84 cents into the highs of $2.60, that's a pretty significant gain for a spot position. Yes, there were some spots that obviously did extremely well, but I wasn't looking for the low caps, right? When I tell you guys, hey, I'm entering these spot positions, the market cap of these coins is already usually 800 to a billion. It's not like it's, 10 million market cap and I'm like, all right, guys, this is what we're gonna do, we're all in, whatever. No, that to me is I personally wouldn't suggest something unless it's safe, and I've done the research on it, because I know there's players in the chat that have a lot of liquid, and I don't want them to get wrecked before a bull run. So that's why I'm very, very cautious when I do send spot positions. And I get DMs all day long of, hey, Pingu, check out this coin. Hey, Pingu, check out that coin. And I'm like, realistically, the coins are great. I've heard of them. I've analyzed them before, but I'm not going to go send it in the Telegram only because of the fact that it's a low cap. It can do well, but everything can do well in altcoin season. It doesn't matter what you're in. You know what I mean? But that's why I'm very, very cautious when it comes down to long-term buying opportunities. Gala, for example, this was, you guys can go in the chat. That's when I sent it, 0.018. I said, hey, I'm probably the only one that was stupid enough to say, hey, Gala looks like a buy. And it was look, that 99% down. It was even lower than the low from previously. Look, we broke a new lower low. That was completely different. And I was like, hey, that looks like a buy position. Why? It's already 95% over, 99% oversold, 0.018. And I sent it once we broke resistance and retested it as support. That's what we like to see, right? A beautiful uptrend. Our take profit was 0.036. We ended up closing the trade. Can Gala go to the wick high here of 0.049, even higher into the 0.057? Yes, definitely. You've seen it from before. We've seen the same price action movements here. That's why, at least for me, I'm happy with that gain perspective. I'm happy to take profits here. If it continues to run up, great. That's awesome. But guess what? I'm still taking my profits here because I'm not looking for the initial buy that we had was the reason why we entered. I wasn't looking for the hopium here now. Oh, we might go. It's not about might anymore, right? Like this position was a lot better because we had reasons to enter. Now it's like in between these consolidation zones, and I don't want to hold a spot position, something like that for long term, mostly at these ranges as of right now. Now let's talk about Beam, the last one I'm talking about in terms of my positions, and I'm happy to go over anything you guys want to talk about. But I just wanted to kind of explain why. So now Beam, okay, I sent it down here, 0.01. Like the red line was where I sent it. Same idea as Gala. We broke the resistance, retested the support. I'm like, cool, this is where we're gonna buy. Now we see the rally into 0.027, 0.028. Could I have sold? Yeah, I could have easily sold a wick high over there. Did I? No. Why? Because no one's a genius when it comes down to a price movement or price discovery. You're never going to know where exactly the price discovery ends. All you can do is wait for consolidation zone and then decide, hey, am I still holding this, or am I looking to take some profits? What I did was I ended up selling 60% of my portfolio. And again, I went all in into Beam, and I went all into Beam down here at 0.014. 0.016 and 0.017 is when I sent it to you guys for the position once the 0.027 was hit. That was the retrace, which I'll show you guys exactly as well, but that was where I was looking to enter in. I closed yesterday at 0.0189 is when I ended up closing 60% of my bag. And this morning it was at 0. Whatever, like right down here, okay? Like in terms of wicks, it wasn't too far behind, but I'll also zoom in so people can see on mobile if they're looking. But yeah, so there you guys go. But like when it comes down to that position, like I ended up closing it 60%. I'm still holding a very large bag of Beam, so it's not like I'm completely out of the market. But the reason why I ended up closing it was because of the fact that I think there's too much risk right now leading into ETF on altcoins. I do still believe that there's going to be an altcoin rally, but I am expecting like if I were like a month ago, if you asked me, hey Pingu, are you closing your spot positions? And you guys remember, I told you a month ago, I will close my spot positions at the end of December. I told you guys that. I was like, doesn't matter. I don't give a shit what happens in the market. I will close my spot positions at the end of December. And that's what I'm doing. I'm closing them at the end of December. We got what, 4 days left till December ends? I'm closing my positions. And I do think that we will still see a much larger altcoin rally, but will we see a corrective move first? That's the gamble I'm playing right now. Is will we first see the explosive rally, or will we first see a corrective move? And given the fact, now let's go on to the larger coins. Given the fact we have coins like Cardano, I'm not going to say XRP, but Cardano, Doge, Hbar, Solana, all of these coins, you guys see the rallies that we've seen. And yes, it's not that large compared to what we have seen before, but these rallies have been pretty much just manipulated candles without any sort of retest on support. I don't like trading something like that. Look at this rally on Cardano. What does this look like? It looks like a BART formation. And same with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Like we could talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum as well. Bitcoin, like everyone's getting all bullish right here, right now. And I'm like, okay, well, it's fine to get bullish, but guess what? Like we've been in this range structure for a while now. We've been trading this chop range for what? Since December 1st. Now we are still in the same chop range. Absolutely nothing has changed on Bitcoin. Like we are still within that means of, the same BART formation. You guys remember when we've been talking about, like, since for a year now, for those of you that are new to the channel, BART formations play very well when it comes down to crypto. And I've been watching it for 6 years, and they do work very well. Now, BART formations, for me at least, are on the 4-hour and the daily. I don't look at 1 hour, 15 minute, 30 minute. Some people send me messages like, hey, Pingu, my coin's showing a BART formation on the 5-minute chart. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's not going to work, right? So what you're looking for is the higher time frames. Now, BART formations are very tricky. In order for a BART formation to play out, and again, what I'm talking about BART formation is a Simpsons character, Bart. There you go. So everyone see that? Okay, we're going to do a little education system. This is Bart, okay? He's happy. All right. So looking at BART over here, and then we got BART over here, so you guys can see what the reason why BART formations have to be very, very careful is because you can see that they're extremely choppy. But what I wait for is the initial break. So of his, like, I guess, neck or whatever you want to call it right here. all of these wicks, this is what a bar formation would be, a confirmation of a break, would be right into the 40.5K. If you lose 40,500, then you short it all the way down. Where the moveset started right here, it'd be a retest of 37K. Oh, Pingu, let me migrate. Oh, Pingu, you're making this up. This isn't right. Whatever. Let me show you guys. And I've shown you guys this so many damn times, but it's always fun to show it again and again and again because, hey, they work so well. Look, it's funny because when I draw a line, I keep that line, right? And like, look at the line that I drew. I didn't change this line, this magical yellow line across the board. It's still been here from the previous live session, but this was, of course, this is a bull run example. I'll show you a bear market BART too, but this was a much bigger BART formation, multiple BART formations. But look what happened. We lost the neckline, right, at 47.8, and then we saw where the move set started. We saw the completion of the move where the move set started, right down there at 33K. Okay, yeah, sure, that was a bull run into the bear market. Okay, show us another one, all right? Let me show you guys a few more here. So you can see another few lines right here. Guess what? This is the one we actually did end up trading as well. Same lines. You can see we saw the same BART formation and the same completion. It was extremely choppy, right? Same choppy range. We broke the neckline, so where the wicks happened the most right here, 44.4, and we retested where the moveset started, down here at 42K. Yes, after that, it continued to dump. That's fine. It happens both ways. It's when the neckline completes, it will either bounce or it will continue collapsing. Same BART formation here. Guess what? We're still in the same BART formation area. You guys remember this one as well. We traded this one as well. Same BART, huge BART on the 4-hour time frame. We lost the neckline right here at 28K. Guess what happened? Boom. Right? That was also with FTX, yada, yada, yada. But these setups happen quite a bit. Here's another one for you guys. Another BART formation on the 4-hour time frame. And this is actually a good example of a BART formation that's kind of identical to the one that we are seeing right now. And I'll show you guys why. Look at this, right? So we have the same BART formation as well as the M formation as well. This is the M formation that I talk about quite a bit on the 4-hour time frame. We were still trading in between 25K. I remember this day. This was during the Fed meeting or whatever, and we saw a huge manipulation candle. Everyone became extremely bullish. Everyone started saying bull run, blah, 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 blah. And guess what happened? BART formation completed after the news of Fed completed. Saw the break, initial break, and then the capitulation after that once again. And now, same BART formation here. Last example, I promise. Same BART formation here, 20.7K. Saw the initial break, continued, rallied, whatever, yada, yada, yada. Guess what? Neckline broke, and look at that formation. Down 20K, and we saw the massive candle into the 15, 14. That's many examples of BART formations playing out. And you can see they happen across the damn board. Even on larger time frames, they do complete. And when they do, they are absolutely disgusting. What are we seeing now after a very long time? Well, we got our happy little BART over here, and we have, guess what, an M formation being formed in the same way. And that's what I'm worried about. And that's exactly why I went to go take profits. My neckline is here. Okay, I'm just gonna leave this line here for the next live session if we do end up seeing a break. If this BART formation, or M formation rather, breaks the neckline right here at 40.5, guess what, guys? Bitcoin heads back down into where the moveset started, right down here at 37K. What do you think happens to altcoins, right? And that's my point, is people don't understand of, like, they look at right now, most people, 90% of people right now in the market are focusing on, okay, what coin is going to make me the most money and how am I going to flip it the fastest? Everyone's looking into altcoins, but no one's looking at the downside that, okay, yeah, sure, ETF passes and we see another break or a break structure, whatever, sure, that's news-based. What happens though if something happens and it's like, let's just say ETF doesn't pass, because everyone's like, oh, it's 99% done. It's done. We're done. We're good. We're chilling, whatever. I'm just saying, I always like thinking opposite. What happens though if it doesn't complete? Are you ready for the downside of your altcoins to nuke 30, 40%? Are you okay with that? And that's where you really need to sit down and decide, okay, my altcoin bags that I'm in, I'm not talking about me, I'm just giving you guys a general perspective. My altcoin bags that I'm in, sure, you know, no one's heard of them, whatever. I'm in these bags. These are 20, 50, $100 million market cap coins. Guess what? Bitcoin sees that big nuke, and then what happens to the larger caps? They nuke, then the mid caps nuke, and then your micro caps, well, guess what? They go to fucking zero. And the reason why is because everyone's going to pull out of the micro caps first, because those are more volatile investments. They're not sure. Again, like, there might be some true bag holders and believers down there that might say, no, this is it. Like, you know, but like, realistically, most people will try to get out of the market, either sit in stables if they're uncertain what the hell's happening, or of course panic sets in and now everyone's closing their positions. We have seen panic set in many times in this market. Guess what? We traded the panic every damn time. I was there for you guys, holding your hands every damn time in Telegram, regardless of market conditions. I've been there for you guys. But when it comes down to larger perspectives, I am very cautious, because again, I will not risk losing that much money, 30, 40, 50%, just based off the fact that this whole rally has been based off ETF news. Sure, technical analysis to an extent, but guess what? We have not seen any sort of correction since 28K. Does this look like a healthy rally to you guys? I don't give a shit if it's in the bull run. Like, people keep saying, oh, the bull run. Like, I'm like, you guys understand, when we had the 2021 bull run, we still had some damn massive corrections into 48, 42 down to 29, then back up to 42. Have we seen that here? No, we have not. We haven't seen anything. And that's why I'm very, very cautious. I'm not trying to panic you guys, but my job for you guys is to protect you. That's my job. I take it very seriously, and that's literally what I do, and why I give you guys all the perspectives possible, is because I just want to raise awareness here that, hey, if this smiley face Bart pattern does end up playing out, are you ready for what comes next? Like, it's no emotional question. It's like, okay, I don't give a shit, Pingu. I only have so much in crypto, so even if it nukes 30-40%, it's all about the long term for me. Okay, great. End of discussion then. Just hold your bags. There's no reason to sell. If you believe in conviction and your coins, then let them play out. Versus the people that have 100% of their liquidity or whatever into this coin or whatever, and you cannot stomach a 30-40% without being panicked, and you're already up, for example, let's say 150, 200%, like your coin went from double, triple, quadrupled, and you're still holding on to it because you're thinking that's going to continue pushing without a correction. That's where the question comes from. IMX for me was a 4x gain. Beam was a 2x gain. They're not substantial gains. There's been Solana that's a 6x gain. These aren't substantial gains for me, but they're great gains still. Like, I really worry about people that, you know, they don't have like they don't have the mentality to trade, where they just end up holding everything and then becoming bag holders, or B, they don't know when to take profit. It's okay if you guys take profit early and you miss a few $1,000s or a few $100. It's okay. These mistakes help you learn. But what's not okay is you not having an exit plan. You not understanding that if a corrective move were to happen, what comes next for you as a trader? That's where I really want to emphasize, and that's where I wanted to do this live session, was give you guys this example and why I am being very cautious, given the fact that we are, in terms of greed, the market is in an all-time greed right now. The S&P just broke an all-time high. Congratulations, right? But look at the momentum here. I'm not denying the fact that the stock market breaking an all-time high. There are reasons here, but a corrective move will come. I am not calling for a massive nuke opportunity. Don't get it twisted. All I'm saying is be cautious and be with the corrective move. You are trust me guys, I have been part of this cycle for way too long. I have seen these cycles over and over and over. The difference is every single time I made the mistake, the two cycles where I made the mistake was I held on to my bags and I was up, like, I'm not even kidding you guys. Like, I'd be up on a coin 300, 400, 500%. And I would not sell it because I was waiting for the massive alt season, right? The one where you retire in one shot. But when the corrective moves happened, my coin started to see those 100, like, I'm just giving an example, but like my coin would go 3x and then back down to near my entry, not quite. So let's say this is my entry and my coin's up here. Now my coin's down here, right? Like, and it's getting pretty close to my entry, but guess what? I couldn't rebuy the coin. Why? Because I didn't have any excess cash. I didn't take any profits. But if I did take profits and let's say I bounced that range and then re-entered, could I have made a lot more money in the larger bull run? Yes. And yes, I understand that you cannot always time the market tops and market bottoms, but guess what? That is why we look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's all you have to pay attention to. I don't give a shit if your coin is going to solve the next blockchain. I don't care. What I care about is what happens to Bitcoin and Ethereum, because guess what? Your coin can do whatever it wants, but when we see a corrective move, it doesn't matter what coin you're in, everyone goes down. Bitcoin goes down, we all go down. Unless dominance drops, and that's the only thing. If dominance drops, if dominance drops when Bitcoin is at a point where it's consolidating, it's strong, and we're not seeing any bearish on the higher time, then yes, your alt season is here. But even dominance, for perspective, it's not crazy. Crazy is crazy, right? Crazy is absolutely crazy, where we go from 40 all the way into 70 and then we see a sharp drop. That is alt season. That, if you time the market, if you look at the dates, that was a true alt season. This, yeah, it's decent, but it's still pretty choppy. We can't simply ignore it. Even in terms of dominance, 62% looks like the next range. What's going to happen to altcoins if Bitcoin dominance increases? Altcoins start to see some corrective moves, and that goes across the board. And that's why I wanted to show you guys, smiley face Bart, it looks great. It's very hard to learn. It's very hard to master. But when you see smiley face Bart on the daily and the 4 hour, and then you have news coming within the next week and a half, I don't care what kind of trader you are. You have to be very, very careful, because if the news goes the other way, guess what? You're getting absolutely wrecked. And if you look at the current price action, this candle is the one that's bothering me the most. This candle was a short squeeze, right? I remember, you guys know this candle damn well, because why? Because we actually longed this candle into the break of 29K. If you go back in Telegram, you'll notice at 29,800, I told you guys, hey, the first level for us is going to be 32K. After that, we decide what we do. We didn't care about 32K. We ended up breaking into 32K instantly. We did not see any retest after that for support break. We continued pushing, using the EMAs. Volume started coming in. Greed started coming in. And now this is where we are. And guys, that was on October 23rd. That's not long ago. That is very, very, very short time. That's not even, if you really think about it, let's just say end of October, November. Now we're in December. It's not that long. This is why I'm very cautious. And it goes for Ethereum as well. Ethereum, to me, long term, in terms of, I'll say midterm, yes, I told you guys, 2305 is going to be the level I'm closing my spot positions out of the board. I don't care. 2305. Ethereum went to 2400. Oh my god, no, it went to 2400. Do I care? No, I don't. Are we still in 2300, 2400? Yes. Are we still trading this chop? Yes. Could Ethereum realistically head into the highs of 29, if not 35? Yes. But guess what? We have seen this happen before. We have seen a market pump into 24 and then nuke into 16 and then continue. This is what bothers me. All of these wicks down here is what's bothering me, is why I'm being so damn cautious, is because if that wick happens from 2300 back down to 1600, do you know, and again, I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about your emotions. I care about what the chart tells us. And the chart tells us it has happened many times before, not once, many times. One example is right here, and this was in the bull run. Another example is right here. You can see we had the same initial break into 2500, market nuke down to 1900, then we had the initial run, then another nuke, and then another nuke, and then another nuke. Guys, this is all the same damn range. It's not like I'm drawing these lines, and you guys know I don't change my lines. These lines have been here since I've been analyzing Bitcoin. I have not changed my lines, but these lines tell a story every damn time, and they tell us right now the fact that we are in the same crucial range where we have to be very, very careful. Being greedy is fine. If you understand the overall outlook on the market, go for it. I don't care. If you think that you can, you don't care about how the market reacts, then that's fine. Do your thing. But for those people that are a little more cautious or have a lot more risk on the end of the line, for example, people that were in Link, let's talk about Link. Link was one of those coins that had such a large consolidation zone, right? This was ideally a perfect consolidation zone for trade. We ended up breaking above that zone. We continued to break above that zone. Now people are calling for Link to $200. Like, the story tells itself. People are calling for Link to $200 when guess what? In the bull run, where did Link correct and how badly did it correct? And this is my point. This is my point to this live is, yes, Link had the same breakout, the same little momentum feeling, whatever you got. It had the same shit at 18. Then it corrected down to 6. Then it continued. Are you ready to give up your gains from 16 to 6 again is my point. Like, this is my point, guys. And you can see this across the board, across all altcoins, is these potentials can happen. If you're a long-term believer of this coin, Link, whatever, I'm just giving an example, but yeah, you want to buy and hold or whatever, that's fine. But if you're someone that's in the market all day long and you notice patterns like this, and you see that 18 is coming up, and 18 on Link is the same as 0.097 on Hbar, is the same as Ethereum 2300. All of these resistance levels that I'm talking about, they all line up exactly where Bitcoin and Ethereum are right now. If we do see a corrective move or even a little bit of a scam pump and then a drop, are you okay to stomach that drop, rebuy, and then continue? Are you going to have those stables to even rebuy? That's my point. And like, guys, like, for someone that's been in this market for 7 years, I have seen everything you can think of. But even for me, I will be honest with you, it is an emotional game. Because for me, I'm looking at altcoins right now. Like, here's an example of Raven coin. I was looking at Raven and I was like, holy shit. Raven is at the same level of an initial break from a resistance when not only did we see the massive run in the bull run, we also saw the short squeeze on the liquidity grab. And now we are seeing the same possible short squeeze again, where we see something like this. I really want to buy Raven, right? And this is where I'm saying the emotional game I'm not perfect. It comes for everyone. I want to buy Raven, but I know from the larger perspective, I am risking a lot more for the potential. I could easily see the same wick opportunity as I saw here. The same wick is where we are right now, and then the same drop, and then back, and then drop again. That's not a good enough structure for me, because if I saw this right now when Bitcoin was at 25K or 30K, then yeah, I would 100% be like, hell yeah, this is a perfect buying opportunity. But when we are already so damn high, and now you're starting to fight over a few, 1 or 2 or 3x gains, and the initial corrective move could be a lot higher, is it really worth it? And that's my point. Is it really worth playing the BART formation or ETF news? Let's ignore the BART formation. Let's just talk about the ETF. Everyone is bullish on the ETF. Everyone is talking about the commercials of the ETF and whatever. I remember back in 2018 when they talked about ETF, CME futures, all of that. I remember all of that. And guess what? All of those news-based articles, every single time that it was based off news and we saw some massive pumps, it always corrected, always collapsed every time. Now, given the fact that the ETF is a lot bigger of a picture for crypto in general, and a lot more money to be poured into crypto, that's where the gray area is. Nobody knows what's going to happen on an ETF, which is why I still have 40% of my altcoin bags. You guys saw in Telegram, I mentioned, I'm only taking 60%. I am not taking my 100%. Why? Because if the ETF does get approved and we do see that massive green candle, I ride the wave both ways. I don't give a shit. I'm still making money. I'm happy. But if the ETF does end up, whatever, magical, anything happens, and the market does tank, and this BART formation does play out, and now Bitcoin's trading at 36K, or if not, even like, let's just say, down to the initial 32K, am I going to be happy that I took 60% of profits and I have 60% more cash to play with at these levels? Can you imagine what altcoins are going to look like if Bitcoin drops to 32K? Guys, Beam would be 50%. IMX would probably be back down to $1.20, if not $1.08, where it's initially started from. Like, that's going to be generational wealth right there. Those opportunities are going to come again. And that's where you pretty much look for those entries. Like, there is a ton of stuff you can learn from the markets just based off that and go from there. But that's just my point, is why I wanted to tell you guys, just be cautious of what you were doing. Like right now, I think everyone is being greedy. And I can tell, for me, but I can tell from the DMs. The DMs are a perfect way to tell me where market sentiment is. Why? Because the amount of DMs I get, and now all of a sudden I'm getting 10, 20, 30 DMs a day of coins and altcoins and charts, and people are telling me, hey, Pingu, look at this. Hey, Pingu, look at that. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird though. Like, this is weird. Why now all of a sudden, why is everyone, I'm getting my friends that, like I haven't spoken to for like 2 years, all of a sudden messaging me like, hey man, I saw Bitcoin. What do you think? And I'm like, okay, like, you know what I mean? And like, usually I would be very cautious with that stuff, but like, given the fact that yes, like everyone's basing it off the ETF news, is all over. Like you simply can't ignore Bitcoin. This doesn't mean I'm bearish in the long term. I love these markets. I love the volatility. I've been extremely bullish on Bitcoin. Guys, you want to see something funny? Like, I'll show you something funny. Let me see. Let me show you something. Let me see. Stay with me here. It's actually kind of... Come on, Pingu. Let me see if I can just go profile. Yeah, there we go. Look at this, guys. I showed this a long time ago, but I want to show you this again. Okay. Look at this. This was Bitcoin on August 13th, 2022. Where I pointed when I said 25,200 is a major level, it was exactly the major level of a local top, and then we collapsed. This is on November 21st, 2018. I was, again, very young, so mind it, but I said, so far so good, Bitcoin hitting all of my supports. Shots of Bleach was at 5,000. Jumping Ceremony was at 4,000. And then Catch Y'all at 3K. 3K was the bottom. How did I know that 3K was going to be the initial buy zone? Was this wick right here. Retest as resistance. Look at that same level. Retested it. I hope you guys can see that, but it's in, just go on my thing and just click on Pingu, whatever. But you can see that was the initial break down to 3,000. And I posted that 5 years ago. 5 years ago. And to this day, I still have it. I don't post on TradingView, whatever. But I am, sometimes I make a post, and it's just like my trading journal. Like, either call it like I was right or it's a learning experience. But 3 of 3 were right. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but all 3 times I ended up going with my gut, and my gut was telling me to start looking to close my trades or close profits. Of course, now we're at 42,400 or 43,400. So yeah, like when I say, like, people always say, oh, I've been in the market for however. Sure, buddy, sure. But the difference is, like, we are at a point now where not only is it just trading against exchanges, but you are now trading with larger market players. And when you're trading with larger market players, you have to be very careful with giving up too much and giving a little too less. So that's my whole 32-minute educational center here. Do you have questions? Please put your questions in the chat. But I hope that makes sense, though. I hope everyone learned something from this. And I'm gonna talk about this, in the Telegram as well once again. But at least you guys will. It is recorded, so you guys can go back to it whenever you need to. But that's my thought process as to why I do things the way I do. Like, I'm very, very cautious. So is everyone okay with that? Are we all good? Any questions or anything you want me to analyze before we call it? Because I want to keep this more educational based, at least for now. And just kind of going over the market sentiment as to why I did what I did. Are we all good? Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so I'm gonna call it there. And you guys can DM me on Telegram if you guys need anything. But yeah, we'll call it there for now. And I will keep you guys posted on the charts. But right now, all we have to do is just pay attention. Let's just let the market do its thing. That's my best advice to you. For those of you that are spots, just let the market do its thing. For those of you that are leverage, we're above 2305. We are above that zone. We have quite a bit of resistance in between this level. But if you're looking for another trading opportunity, then wick high of 2390, you can enter along for the squeeze to continuation. Otherwise, just let the market do its thing. Okay, cool. I will end the stream there, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for coming, and then we'll talk again next week, Monday. Okay, peace out.